You know those days on the lake where you have your favorite stomping grounds all to yourself? Just you, your boat full of friends, and maybe one other friend out there trying to take advantage of it too. Those are the days we all dream of. Those are the days that you got to take advantage of it while the getting's good. But most days, there isn't an inch of smooth water to be found. So what do? Anchor and go for a swim? Meet up with some friends and hang out? Join the masses and make the most of it? Or you could try something a little different. Like foil boarding, the perfect way to rise above a choppy day on the lake. But before you imagine yourself gracefully gliding above the chop like Kai Lenny, you're going to have to learn how to get up on the board. See, that big wing underneath the board isn't going to allow you to get up on this like a wake surfer, so you got to do things a little differently. Use your backhand and your back knee to kick that board 90 degrees on its side, and then from there, just as the slack is all about to be taken up by the boat, go ahead and put your lead foot up on the board, and then as soon as the slack is all taken up, put your backhand on the handle and your back foot directly over the mast. And welcome to the bucking bronco ride that is your first ever foil board ride. Make sure your back foot is directly over the mast of the wing, and you have plenty of pressure on that front foot to keep the wing down in the water. Otherwise, too much pressure on the tail, you're going to need to learn how to fall gracefully. Or in a way that cleans out the sinuses. Or in a way that makes you wish you kind of wore a helmet. Now that you've mastered controlling the board on the surface of the water, it's time to get the board in the air. Start by gently rolling pressure onto that back foot, and as soon as it comes up out of the water, level it out by putting weight on your front foot. More pressure on the tail makes the board rise higher, and more pressure on the nose brings you back down to the surface of the water. Try to ride the board as level as you can, because the minute you start getting a little too pitchy with it, the board will rock up and down, and you'll eventually come down and fall into the water. Eventually you'll get more comfortable with the board in the air and start flying it higher and higher. But watch how high you fly it, because the second it gets too high, it'll cavitate and send you right back down into the water. And it really doesn't take much more than a bubble of air underneath that wing to make it lose lift and send you right back into the lake. When getting up out of the water, make sure to keep your weight centered over your feet and not to break at the waist. Otherwise, you're going to wish you wore a helmet again. And even while you're on cruise control flying above the water, remember not to break at the waist, otherwise you're going right back down. And when you're first learning, make sure to get outside the wake as soon as possible, otherwise the wing gets caught in the wash. And lastly, where you put your foot over the mast determines how easily it takes flight or how easily it stays down in the water. The more forward to the mast that your foot is, the more pressure you're going to have to put on the back foot to get it to take flight. The further back towards the tail, the less pressure you're going to need to put on the tail in order to get it to fly. But there's a trade-off here. The further back towards the tail your foot is, the more twitchy the board becomes. And the further forward that you have it, the less reactive it becomes. So find your happy medium by trying different positions of your foot over the mast and see what you like best. But if standing on the board doesn't do it for you, you can be like Marshall. Marshall's what Aaron Rathie did for wake dragging. Marshall's done for drag foiling. Whatever. See, Marshall's not the kind of guy that likes to be told he can't do something. One way or another, he's going to figure it out. Even if that means almost ripping off his arm, taking half of Lake Austin to the face, or maybe getting slammed around a little bit. One way or another, he's going to achieve, even if it's just for a split second. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, hit that likes button. And if you want to keep up with what we're doing, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Until next time, we'll see you on the next video.